What is that? Is that the old sitcom? That's Friends or something, isn't it? No, it's not. It's something horrible like that. I'll dig myself out sometime, Steve. What's up, gang? Live back in the Secret Stash. I'm your host, Jesse Ibanez. We're wrapping up the month right now. All things real estate and mortgage planning related with my man, Jeremy Beck, co-founder of the Greenhouse Group, helping folks get into and out of homes. That's your game, too, right down the heart of San Diego. Yeah. If you are in that category, maybe a first-time buyer looking to take advantage of these rates we were just talking about. Maybe you're a move-up buyer. Maybe you're in a spot where it's time to trade in because your family's on the grow. Or maybe you're on that the highest list out there, which is the 5 to 750. Maybe this is your big trophy move, and it's time to take advantage of some bigger space and have this be the legacy purchase. In any event, you want to call my man Jeremy Beck. He's doing mortgage plans down there at the Greenhouse Group. Where can they catch you, Jer?
858-863-0262. And
go ahead.
858-863-0262 or Jeremy at greenmeansgrow.com.
Green like the color, means because you mean business?
Because I mean business.
I love that. So, gang, we teased it out. The final bookmark is the one that I think is the most, I might say, surprising of the whole. And that is the first-time buyers, despite all the flack they're getting, for the millennials sleeping down in the basement of their folks' house, still represents the largest percentage of purchases at about 53%.
Yeah. Now,
I know you specialize in first-time home buyers, so this isn't going to be news for you because I think it's probably about 90% of your business probably for purchase transactions anyway. But the thing that's interesting, I think, is when you get down into the stats a little bit. So when it comes to the actual millennial group, okay, only 28% of them are actually homeowners. But 65% of them plan on buying in the next 3 months. Why do you think that is?
Procrastination.
Ah! That's all you got for me? You're the one. You turned into the
just
one
a millennial bash.
All right. Well, then let me keep rolling on this.
Yeah.
So the thing I think that was most telling was the concept of a willingness to pay. Okay. So everybody, like you said a second ago, you know, the unfortunate jury has still not came back to share with the rest of the world that you don't need 20% to buy a house.
Right.
Right. And so when asked if they thought they could buy a home for less than 20%, they even played this thing all the way down to 5%. The willingness to pay for a millennial went up to 40%. Went up 40%. Went up 40%. Not up to 40%. Went up 40%.
Right.
Which almost then amasses the entirety of the group that they. Now, what do you think's up with that?
Well, I mean, it could just be sheer numbers, right? If you tell somebody they need 20% to buy a home in San Diego and they're looking in the, say, $300,000-$400,000 range, this is a large chunk of money.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, when you break it out, 10% of the millennials that did buy used no money down. Now, are there still no money down deals out there, Jer?
Sure. You've got VA. You have some first-time homebuyer assistance programs that are income-based, and some neighborhoods have their own types of community programs. So technically, you can get to the 0%. My guess is most of those are FHA with sometimes a homebuyer assistant.
Unless you're a guy or gal that served our country, then of course you get to take advantage of the best loan in the history of mankind.
Untouchable.
Which is no money down and no mortgage insurance.
Yep.
Booyah shalaka.
Up to
is what you say that in Latin.
Yeah, and then not to mention that, but the VA stuff, we do a lot of that here in San Diego.
Right.
You can buy $800,000-$900,000 homes with VA, and you're only putting a little bit down. It's pretty insane.
So then we jump to the 1% to 5% down. That's the largest group at 26%.
Yeah. That's the FHA crowd, 3.5%. That's where you're getting that probably.
Dips down a little bit from 6 to 9, 7.8%. And that's just like what? Maybe they were good enough to save up a couple bucks, or maybe they get a small gift from the folks.
Yeah, it's a weird bracket actually, because you'd do 5 or you'd do 10. I don't
That's
think
what I
you'd
was
do
thinking
6 or 9.
Because there's really no benefit to, like, if you're going to do 9, you might as well just do 10.
Right.
Right. Or jump all the way to 5. Save yourself a percent, I guess. And then the last bracket of 10 to 19% was 20.4%. That's a big chunk cumulatively. So is the word finally getting out to the millennials? Is that what that tells you?
You know, there's some really cool programs right now with the 5 to 10% down range.
Say more about that.
So with the advent of mortgage insurance, lender-paid mortgage insurance, or what you might hear marketed as no mortgage insurance, those are the types of programs that really don't affect your rate much, and the payments are really low. So the need to get to 20% is not as beneficial as it used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, juxtaposed on the other side of that, again, is the old class called the renter class, right? Now, here's the thing that's scary, is if you look at this chart, and by the way, I keep mentioning the charts and stuff, gang. We're going to put this all in the show notes. If you go to secretstashradio.com and you click on this episode, we're going to have all these stats listed here so you can see them for yourself. But everybody loves pretty pictures, right?
Yeah.
There's a big red
I see that.
pretty picture when it comes to median asking of rent. Now, since they've been tracking this in 1988, it continually and exponentially grows, and it looks like the face of a gnarly rock climbing mountain.
The chart is insane.
Over the last 2 or 3 months.
Straight up to the right.
So, is that sustainable, and why is that happening?
Well, I think what you're seeing is the limited resources in San Diego, or an area, say, popular areas. You have limited housing. So I had a friend recently looking for rentals, and he had to show up on the doorstep like the old days of buying. It's crazy competitive.
And that's exactly what I was going to share. There's actually, so Stephanie McCleskey, she's actually a VP of Axiometrics. She does all the data stuff. And she said the demand for apartments is still strong despite record number of new units being delivered this year. Tight occupancy is why landlords can push rents higher.
And you say this is a bad chart, but what's interesting to me is if you own a rental property, that's a nice chart.
So, Jared, final thoughts. Are we in a housing bubble?
I'm not going to say bubble. Like I said back in the beginning of the program, I think the issue right now is that we have low rates driving higher demand and higher prices, but the people who are buying can afford their purchases. So that doesn't mean bubble. It could mean we're inflated, but it doesn't mean bubble.
The smartest guys in the room got polled on this, and 67%, which is a healthy majority, said that potentially things might ease, but they will remain sustainable and sensible in all levels.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yeah, I think it was, man.
Yeah.
I started by saying the smartest guys in the room.
She told me there was some stats on it before you asked me.
Gang, that's my man Jeremy Beck. And by the way, thank you for hanging out, man.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me in.
A little smarter than how you found us this morning. If you want to catch him and talk numbers and shop about maybe coming up with a mortgage plan of your own, we talked about why that's such a critical component. A pre-approval expires, a mortgage plan lasts forever. You want to talk to Jeremy Beck down at the Greenhouse Group. How can they catch you one last time, buddy?
Yeah, we do a free 1-hour mortgage planning consultation, 858-863-0262. And my email, jeremy@greenmeansgrow.com.
Stash Nation, coming up, we're going to talk future vision of our beautiful little county. All things sustainability. We have a architect in the house, and we've also got solar dudes in the house, and this is going to get fun. Dudes. So Stash Nation, stick around. We'll be right back. Real Talk Radio, San Diego.